It's time for Cup of Red, so let's fill your cup with rad pop culture vibes. And now your over-caffeinated hosts, Mike and Katie. Hey kids, it's Mike from Cup of Rad with
Katie.
And that's right, this week we are extremely over-caffeinated. We've had so many coffees and lattes today, it's insane. So, yes.
Oh, we are so caffeinated.
We are extremely caffeinated. And that's what happened today, that we are caffeinated people. Then that's what we'd always talk about our show, is that we are caffeinated and we're over caffeinated. And that's what we're doing today, is over caffeinated, Mike and Katie. And then what we're going to do is we're going to answer your questions today. Questions that we asked you for weeks ago and we didn't have time for. But today we're going to do it for you because we're over caffeinated and we have time to answer some of these questions for you.
Wow, that was super impressive. Full on auctioneer mode. Wow.
Cup of Rad questions coming at you right now. Here's the answer for this one. We're going to do this one. We're going to hear this. The answer is going to be for this one. We could just go through all 50 questions we got just like that.
If I could talk like that, it'd be different, but I'm just going to slow it down because I was... This is what happens when I try to talk too fast.
Christmas is in full swing around us. We're doing lots of Christmassy things, and that's fantastic.
Yes.
So we're coming at you with an episode that is a little bit more light and fluffy for your Christmas shopping, you know, and all that. Not really any spoilers or anything like that. It's just a whole bunch of questions from you, the listener, which is pretty fantastic. We'll see how many we can actually get through this week.
Maybe and anything we don't, hit, then it'll just be tacked on to future episodes.
Or we'll have another one of these ask question things come up another time. We'll see what happens.
That's true.
So here we go.
Yeah, let's dig in right here.
All right, first off, Canadian truths. What are they? They're Canadian truths. They're all 100% fact. No fiction. I'm going to lay one on you right now. Arctic outflow are actually polar bear farts.
And that has been Canadian truths.
Canadian truths, eh? That wasn't in Canadian. I don't know what that was. That was like a...
Let's try that again.
No,
you can't do it.
You threw me on the spot.
You're the one that put the accent out.
It was like a mixture of like everything.
It was mostly Australian.
No, I don't know what that was.
I don't know. It was like...
That's how truthful Canadian truths are.
Just randomly later on in the episode, he'll just come out with some Newfie accent or something like that.
He's a boys, He's a boys, He's a boys, catches fish.
Oh, wow.
All right, thoughts on the rise of the TMNT. Well, I've talked about this a few times here and there, and I'm not enjoying the show. I was trying to be positive at the beginning of the show when it started, and I was enjoying it to a fact because I like to see all different kinds of interpretations. It's not a bad show. It's great. It's kind of like Teen Titans Go, which on a funny note, me and Kiddo aren't enjoying as much because it's gotten really mean, not as funny and witty.
Yeah.
So... You know, Rise is kind of like one of those ones where if I've got nothing else to watch, but I really just feel like sitting, I'll turn it on. It's not my favorite, but those that enjoy it, all the power to you. Because that's the thing. We're all fans of something.
Yeah, there you go. And myself, I kind of just experience it through Mike. I don't have enough of it to know myself. But you're right. It's just a snippet. It's just a silliness. So, yeah. For sure.
Favorite sandwich?
Totally different. It's fantastic. So,
yeah, right?
Well, okay, our favorite sandwiches have changed since our diet, has changed. So current sandwich that I enjoy now, what we really like is, we call it a chickpea sandwich. And you take canned chickpeas and you mash them up a bit and you add mayonnaise and almost kind of make it like depending on the flavor, it's almost like an egg salad type
or it could be
feel.
tuna.
Or it could be tuna.
It is versatile.
It's fantastic. I kind of love that it's both of them because I loved egg salad and I loved tuna growing up. So it's super fun. And that's one of my favorite sandwiches for sure. And then I also like grilled cheese, but we got to get the correct type of, non-dairy cheese for us to make it, which is more difficult. But my favorite for sure is a chickpea.
Yeah, chickpea with some lettuce and tomato.
Yeah.
Some Dijon mustard because I'm a beeping adult.
Don't forget that the red onion. The red onion has to really add up to it. And then we get some really nice sourdough bread. Oh, so good.
Yeah, there you go.
So good.
See, you're salivating right now. You had it in your ears and you're just like, dang.
It's so good.
I want a sandwich.
Yeah.
Well, come on over. We'll make you a sandwich.
We'll make you a sandwich and it'll be a dang good sandwich.
Right? And you'll eat like a Beep an adult.
There you go. So, favorite comedian?
Favorite comedian. I watch a lot of stand up, and we have over the years, but like I don't think I've ever really had one particular that I was like in a new kind of found way of that. But comedian wise, really for me was Robin Williams.
Yeah.
Even his stand up, I was able to see him twice live.
That there tells you who your favorite comedian
I guess,
is.
yeah, that is. I just liked his way of looking at the world, and the spastic nature of it, and I just liked how, as much as, he'd make fun of things, he was still very positive. He wasn't really overly crude.
Yes.
And, he just,
when he was definitely a real world feeling guy.
Yes.
Laugh at the world around us. And
he touched on things too, like, as with anything, the older you get, the more you see and the more you can laugh at things that were there before. You're just laughing at some of the vulgarity in some cases, right? And whatnot. And it's like, he just said, hee, right? Yeah. But as you get older, you see how it is. And some of the realism that came through there was funny. And then, of course, with his movies, I don't think there's one that I just don't really care for. So that is, probably my favorite comedian. Yeah.
And you know what? I really, really enjoy Robin Williams too. I love, as I say, the movies. I saw one of the times you went live, I was with you, which was fantastic. And one of the best shows that we've ever seen. And I know we've watched his DVDs. We have stand up of them too. But for me as well, I've always loved Dana Carvey. And it was from SNL and from Wayne's World. And I used to watch his stand up that he did as well. And it was one of my favorite, most quoted. I would watch that thing over and over and over again. And he's definitely one of my favorites. Like I would go and see him live in a heartbeat. So
there's so many good ones out there, and it's hard to really single down because each of them brings something different to it and different facet of your personality.
Well,
right?
and the same person too. It could be 2 years different, and it's just the world around you with that comedy they aren't delivering it the same, or that suddenly someone speaks to you too.
Yeah.
I used to watch a lot of Comedy Central and stand-up comedy all the time when I was growing up.
Well, just like me, it was just for laughs, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. And so I love watching stand-up comedy. And it's harder to find it nowadays. Now we find it on Netflix.
Yeah, and there's just Chappelle.
And there's specials more than anything. You don't, and so you kind of have to already be made.
5-10 minute kind of 15-minute sets, 5-10-15-minute sets that people would do, and you just get like those snippets, and
not like an hour and a half of it.
Maybe I don't remember the comedian, but I laughed, right?
Right.
And now, you're right.
I miss that. Yeah, now it's like, okay, well, I've been doing comedy for 20 years, and now Netflix has made a special for me for an hour and a half, and it's a big ordeal, and some of them are great, but I miss the more introductory, breaking into it one. So.
If you could give a Star Wars character a Disney Plus show, what would it be?
For me, I want to see more of the Star Wars Rebels. I want to see what happened with Hera after the series ended and her son, and I want to know more of what happened with them. And you know what, quite honestly, even to more Star Wars Rebels in general, just more of that, more of what's, maybe Hera and Kanan before the show started or stuff like that. Any of their adventures would be fantastic.
So you really want to see Kanan and Hera?
Yeah.
And then, or just Hera?
I think, that would be interesting, just because they seemed so much more like
flashbacks. Like he told the story after Return of the Jedi with the kid and all that, and then did flashbacks of how they got together.
Yeah, exactly. I think that would be really cool because I think their relationship had the potential for so much depth, and there was a lot of connection there. But
would you keep it the CG, or would you want to go live action?
Well, if they could make it on the caliber of Mandalorian, I would fly at live action. But if not, the same style that they had. I love the animation for Rebels. It was beautiful, and I have no problem with that at all. So.
Nice. For me, Ewoks. Ewoks. If you're surprised, I'm sorry. And I think I probably said it before on the podcast, but I would love to see the Ewoks done like Planet of the Apes, like the reboots.
Yeah.
Where it's just taken super serious. And if they were able to just be like, this is like a foreign film, here's your subtitles, and everything is done in Ewokanese or whatever they call it, right? With just subtitles.
That'd be good.
Like, right? And so then the only, English we would hear would be that of like the stormtroopers or if there's, the humanoid kind of characters on the planet.
You'd really be like involved in feeling like you're there. because
Yeah.
it'd be like Chewbacca and the Wookiees and everything,
Yeah.
right?
Just that and treat them like serious, like that PG-13 Planet of the Apes, like
Yeah.
that's what I would love to see. That those
be
kind of
cool.
adventures,
We
like
could
them
see
run
the
through
true
the
savagery of the
trees,
Ewoks.
like hunting like the weird kind of like creatures on Endor, and or the other option would be is to take them Predator style and have a group of stormtroopers trapped on Endor, and one single Ewok is taking them out. Right?
That'll be the special, the movie special, Rogue Ewoks.
Right? It's the Predator, but done like Ewok with
There
Ewoks.
you go.
All those stormtroopers getting picked off one by one, hanging by their toes in the forest. Oh, GT! Nub nub!
Nice.
Yep. Well, I think there was more there for them than what they were. given.
Yeah, totally.
And I think like anything, it was cute, so then it became merchandise, and I think it really could have progressed into something just like super dark and not necessarily creepy, but like show the realism. That's why I like comparing it to Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, I like it.
So, what Disney ride would you like to see made into a movie?
I would like to see the Haunted Mansion redone properly to reflect the ride. I want more creepy, not so super bubblegum and romantic love.
Makes sense.
So,
Makes sense. I wonder if we'll ever get that.
yeah, I'm losing faith on that one, but you know what? Who knows? Who knows?
They had so much creepy in like the first Pirates of the Caribbean. So like
Right?
when
And it
they
was
announced
so
that original
well. I'm
like,
like, oh,
Haunted Mansion, I was like, oh my goodness, we're gonna get some creepy, and then they went completely
Well, because
like
with the Pirates, there were so many nods. We're like, oh yes, it was just like the movie, and it had an edge to it.
Yeah.
And Haunted Mansion had zero edge.
yeah, it was completely silly.
None at
it took
all.
away like it made the silly So I'm gonna throw in like a side note. I actually want to see a Disney Plus Haunted Mansion series
I think that might be fantastic.
that has Master Gracie actually a ghost hunter, or like kind of like that, and him traveling around solving like spooky crimes kind of thing, like Scooby Doo kind of thing, but like it's all real. And then like The Conjuring, like the Warrens, where like
Yes.
he solves a crime and takes an artifact back to the mansion,
And he's
right?
collecting the ghosts.
He's collecting the ghosts that live in his mansion. Right. And so then like, at the end of each episode, the beginning of episode, there's that little like, tally mark or whatever, of how many spirits are in the Haunted Mansion. And then the series needs to end with, Gracie dying and him being the 99th, 999th spook.
I'm gonna pull my mom on you. Mike, I wish you could go to Hollywood and make things. Because that would be amazing.
Right. If you'd kept it creepy.
Like I can just picture it in my head, and like how cool of like the intro it would be to be able to just add the tally marker at the end, current count.
Yeah.
And
like done like the journal page where he's like writing in there with the script, right?
And like you because I want it to be able to watch a show, movie, whatever, and be able to be like, oh yeah, I remember that. I don't care if it's I remember that picture, I remember that box. Like I remember every square inch of the Haunted Mansion, and I want to see all those Easter eggs in that.
Yeah.
And there was not enough of them well done, because the Haunted Mansion is creepy.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you that might have only ever seen it in Holiday Haunted Mansion, I love Holiday Haunted Mansion. But then when you go back and see the Haunted Mansion and you realize how dark and sinister and creepy it really is, it's really quite a contrast, and you can forget about how dark it is. And just when I think about that, then I get even kind of angry about the current the Haunted Mansion movie that we were given. Right. So it could be better, because there's so much opportunity for stories there. And
there's supposed to be 999 happy haunts in there, but like just imagine being able to
some of those
see the stories,
like
and
the ghosts and the stuff,
the pictures, the picture frames in the hallway, right?
They're creepy, and there's gonna be a fun story among all of them, and some of them could be a little bit more silly still, but some of them could be pretty dark and twisty.
You get that good narration over each episode, that like that Englishy kind of like Southern gentleman voice. And then the series just ends with him being like, the only way I can realize that I can keep them here is to become the 999 spirit. And he just scribbles, and then he drops from the ceiling.
And then he drops. Oh my gosh. Mike, go make things.
Well, Disney, give me a call.
Yeah,
we can work some stuff out. I'm pretty flexible. on that kind of stuff. So. But not on as a movie thing. I think Matterhorn would be a really cool one, just because it'd be really fun to do spooky. And here we go, spooky again. But like Yeti, like the idea of like, you know, finding out that there's all these
disappearances,
expositions, you know, disappearances. So they send
you could have the giant pile of all the different historical things that have disappeared.
And then, you know, the big climax of the movie is when they like confront the Yeti, but then they all like hop into like one of the old like bobsled things and go careening down the mountain as it's like avalanche coming down and the Yeti's chasing them.
Yeah, that would be fantastic.
Right.
Too.
So yeah, that's what I want to see.
There you go. Okay, I like it.
Yeah.
And Kiddo has been reading Kingdom Keepers, and his last book that he read was, he's just been super obsessed with the fact that they were in Small World, and it was all like creepy and coming to life for them. And so he's like, wouldn't it be creepy if they made a movie like this where Small World was basically coming to life and like haunting them and the dolls were chasing them and everything. So again, we have a creepy factor that we have themed here.
Love Disney, but we want it creepier.
The happiest place on earth, but we want some creepy movies out of it. Okay, next question.
Coffee order.
Starbucks specifically
Starbucks coffee order, yeah,
because let's be honest, that is our coffee.
Well, it's the easiest.
Our lattes at least.
Yeah.
So Christmas specialty for Christmas, our drinks. We generally will get we get a grande.
I was trying to get Christmassy.
We get a grande almond milk latte, chestnut praline latte. Right now we've been getting half sweet with no whipped cream.
Yes.
We found the full sweet version was like
liquid crack.
Yes. So we tried
to my veins.
We tried half sweet and it was so much better. It was just that nice little bit of sweet and it was not like, you know, breaking my teeth sweet. Yeah. So but our normal non-Christmas drink is a grande almond milk latte with 2 pumps of sugar-free vanilla, or I like sugar-free cinnamon dulce sometimes too. And
I pretty much just say whatever, yo.
Yeah, he just whatever, and then it's usually just one of those 2 drinks.
Give me my coffee. Coffee maiden.
And then generally in like the summertime, we just get iced versions of that one. Nothing really different with that, and yeah.
Why do you have so many Dragon Ball figures when you're only at Evil Boo? This one here is because the figures are really cool and they sell out. So I just started collecting ones that I thought looked cool and ones that I found at good prices and things like that. And
you took the opportunity.
Yeah. I seized the day. Carpe diem. The action figure.
Yeah, you did.
So that's really why, because, you know.
Well, a lot of it.
And I missed out on ones that I probably would have wanted because I was like, well, it's cool looking, but it's not like yes, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, there's a few out there that I wish I had been able to snag, but you know, they disappeared by the time I got watching it. So. Well,
and I think a lot of the times you buy things too because of what they look like, or you know, those types of things too. So.
I was also just really digging the show, so I was kind of like, well, why not, right? Why not do it? So
yeah, that makes sense.
Favorite Power Ranger.
Sorry,
I did my phone's on the side, so I wasn't able to read it.
I was like, I can't find where we are on the list.
Favorite Power Ranger: Mighty Morphin, Billy Cranston, Blue.
There you go.
David Yost.
For me, I've only ever really watched Mighty Morphin with Mike and Kiddo there. And I always liked Kimberly. I liked the Pink Ranger. I liked her mix of... I like her as Kimberly, and I liked her personality with that. And I like the color pink, so it was kind of perfect.
Yep. One day I'll get you in the pink spandex.
Yeah, it'll be awesome.
Me for the blue, I just like the fact
only if I can have a giant bow.
That's doable. Someone with a 3D printer set us up. For myself, the reason being blue, I just like the fact that he was so useful. He wasn't really a weakling or anything like that. You know, when he morphed, he was still like BA. Yeah. And then when he wasn't, he was always making inventions and all that to help them out.
It's Donatello.
He's the one that made them the communicator that teleported. It wasn't Zordon, right? Like, yeah. So
you like the tech guy like that with that?
It's because I'm not techie.
Because you're not like that.
So much, I was like, that dude is useful, right? Everyone always thinks I'm techie because I'm kind of nerdy, right? Yeah. So they're like, oh, come help me with this. I'm like,
That's funny.
How do I draw on this? I can't draw on that.
That's funny.
Favorite Power Ranger villain. Now that being said, I'll go back. There is tons of other Rangers that I like throughout the.
Oh, well, you and Kiddo always, every time you would finish a series, you would rank within the series themselves, and then rank the show between all the things you liked. So you guys it was always an ever changing switch up of favorite Power Rangers.
Yeah, so.
Nothing will. I actually got the memory on Facebook that it's been 3 years since the day Kiddo was sick that Power Rangers became part of our lives.
Yep.
So it has actually only been 3 years.
Yeah. Thank you to Netflix. We were able to blast through all those seasons, except for Ninja Steel.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So favorite Power Ranger villain?
I always liked Goldar, and I always thought he could have been a more cooler villain than he ever really was.
Yeah.
Especially after like rewatching Mighty Morphin, I was like, man, he is so amazing looking, but why isn't he more BA? Like,
yeah. And
even after we watched Zoo Ranger, right? Like he was a little more BA in that.
Yeah.
Right. But and then the movie totally just like it was like, was not Goldar. It was just a mech.
No, that was horrific.
But yeah, so hopefully, hey, because they're supposed to be rebooting Power Ranger movie.
Yeah. That would be really cool. They
set in the 90s. Right. So maybe we'll get a new Goldar.
That would be cool.
But I always liked the design of it because it just looked really cool. It
was blue fuzzy monster.
Yeah, right. It was Beast in a gold armor.
Beast in a gold armor. Exactly.
It was a flying monkey, and so yeah, Goldar is my jam when it comes to Power Ranger villains.
I always liked Rita because she's just crazy and hilarious.
You like Bandora.
I was gonna say though, as soon as I was thinking about this, I was like. But what I'm realizing is I really liked her from Sentai more than anything because she was hilarious.
She was evil in that.
As can be. And you know what? Honestly, I love her little tricycle she would ride through the sky.
Yes, that was just said.
It was amazing. She was just this crazy old cackling witch flying through the sky on a little tricycle, and it's amazing.
You know what I just thought of? What they should totally do with that? We should like figure out a way to like dub that and her coming up on her little tricycle and have her say, "You want to play a game?"
Yes.
Mashup with Saw. Yes. Power Ranger Saw. Yes.
So yeah, that could be. That's kind of a blend. It's just that character in general within the two different versions. But I love her outfit. It's hilarious. It's like the weird pointy boobs and the it's just ridiculous.
Right.
And I think the different villains that I would see as time went on the show when I would watch it with you guys, and like the hilarious costumes they would come up with, and that one was just original ridiculousness. Yeah,
that's one thing that I liked about that season, and that leads into like what's your favorite season, Mighty Morphin.
Yeah.
Because as time went on, the villains became so over the top with what the main bad guy was always just became such more like a foam monster, right? Mm-hmm. I thought it was cool with Rita being that she still had that human element to her, and her lackeys were the monsters, right? And I think going on with Sentai and Power Rangers, they lost some of that with always having just the big foam monster as the bad guy as well, because I think you kind of lost some of the emotion behind it because you didn't have the full face movements of things, right?
Can we take a moment to appreciate the Sentai villains that are like S&M costumes?
You just need to bring that up.
Yes.
On Die Ranger. If you have not watched it, Shout Factory has it on their TV.
Go and try to find it. Because they're scary villains because they're like hardcore and edgy, but they look like
straight from a bondage party. And it is hilarious. And it's something we can't laugh about when we watch it because Kiddo would ask questions. And but yeah, it's fantabulous costumes. That's all I'm gonna say. So what are some figures you wish, specifically 5 figures you wish you had? Okay, so I got 2 that are ones that are real,
and then ones that you wish, and then others that you wish were available. Yeah. Okay.
So one that is real, but there's no way that I'm going to pay for it, is Beerus from Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
The figure arts.
If anyone's looking for a Christmas present for Mike.
Yeah, everyone got a cool $200 to send me. Figure whatevs, right? But Beerus, because he's a purple cat god. You know, like that's just amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of those ones where I remember seeing it at Barnes and Noble back in the day, and I was like, "Oh, this thing's awesome!" But I know nothing about Z, right? So
Yeah, but I don't know. It's like, to me,
Theo, where you at? You know, when I saw that way back then, like,
yeah, geez, dude, you should have like convinced him years ago. What, you failed? You failed this collector. No, thank you. I appreciate you at least delayed the inevitable a little while.
delayed the pain. Then one that is coming is the Hot Toy Ewok Wicket, because I think that's just amazing. It's going to be a fuzzy 1/6 scale Ewok on my shelf. I
love that. It's going to be on my shelf. It's going to be there.
That is my jam for Star Wars is Ewok, so it better show up.
I understand.
I have my Andor Luke, so you can just throw the poncho on Luke and boom.
Oh yeah, I get
Andor
that. Yeah.
scene. So lightsaber versus spear, right?
Totally.
Okay, so then when it comes to ones I would like to see be made, I'm going to go to Mezco with their 112 line, because their 112 line's fantastic. We have Batman, Catwoman, and Joker. And what I would love to see is Nightwing made in that series, because I love Nightwing and I want to have that articulation and that cloth
Quest
look.
for the perfect Nightwing
Yes,
figure.
right?
Yeah.
That would be super awesome.
Nice.
Because then I could send Adam lots more dick pics.
Yes,
So,
I mean that's the quest.
goal.
That's the goal in life.
You know,
Dick
a bunch of
pics.
comics needs, you know, realistic looking dick pics.
I agree.
And if anyone's like, whoa, what just got said? Nightwing is named Richard Grayson.
you should have
Dick
just
Grayson.
left it there,
Yeah, well,
questioning why you're sending dick pics. You know what? When I first ran across that joke on Facebook, I burst out laughing. Because it was like the greatest thing ever. Like, this is one of those you stumble across your husband sending dick pics. And it was the greatest thing ever. I was like, how did I not know about this before?
I mean, sometimes it's just innocent and you got to send your buddy one, right? They just need to see what's going on.
That was
And,
fantastic.
Yeah. So Mezco, get on that, because the internet will be flooded with dick pics. From that,
Got to recover over here. Okay.
from that NECA, I really would love to see them make a Krampus. Surprise, surprise. Done up from the Michael Dougherty Krampus movie. Even if it's a deluxe one, I don't want, you know, cloth would be kind of cool, but I want to be able to match the Sam, the Ultimate line. So Ultimate Krampus, I think that'd just be amazing to have him just up there, you know.
That would be cool.
It doesn't really need articulation, just more or less a statue, honestly.
Yeah, totally.
With the bell and all that. I think that would be really awesome. And then I'd also like to see NECA tackle Beetlejuice. So Warner Brothers, please do some licensing with NECA. You're already doing the Conjuring stuff, so come on. How hard is it to say Beetlejuice, right? Because I think with that alone too, you got like
so many variations.
They could ride that license for a while.
Uh-huh.
You know, you got the
Accessory packs of the different like weird hand things and like
yeah, it could be better than the Pennywise.
Yeah.
Right? Because you got the striped suit, which of course is a classic, right?
Yeah.
But think of the deluxe accessory pack where he gets the giant inflatable hammer arms and the mobile thing, right?
yeah.
Then you get the wedding suit, right? And then you could take the head off that and have a little tiny head,
Yep.
right?
Totally.
And then you can make an accessory pack, diorama accessory pack of like the lobby, so you could have him waiting, right, with his little tiny head. Oh, and then you got where he first showed up in like the guide outfit, right?
Yeah.
So there's tons of amazing things.
Opportunities.
So, you know, I'm not going to say to NECA, because I bet you NECA probably wants to make one. It's Warner Brothers and Tim Burton, all you guys. You got to be like, hey, give the fans what they want. They want a Beetlejuice figure. So talk to NECA, because they do amazing horror figures.
There you go.
And they got that great Ultimate line. So there you have it. Those are
Just
the
saying.
5 that I'm looking for.
Okay, so for myself, 4 figures, I also have a figure that is way out of price range and I will never be able to get, and I'm crying about that I don't have. And that is a Sailor Moon Black Lady figure. because it's like $230 that I can find it as. And
I tried. I looked at the knockoff one, and I couldn't bring myself even to spend the $25 on it. It looked that bad.
you're like, no, not happening. So yeah, I wish I could find that. That would be a quest there for me.
Yeah, I found you one of those little petite charas or whatever they're called. But that thing that was like $120.
Yeah, see, and that's
It's like
ridiculous.
2 inches tall.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, that's something that I gotta find something Black Lady, but I doubt it's ever gonna be a figure art.
Well, you never know. Maybe
who knows?
they'll bring out a statue.
Maybe,
Van Presto,
which would be
maybe?
pretty cool. So that is my too expensive list. One thing also too, I would love to get an MCU Loki from Hot Toys, but I just haven't found the one that I really would want. Like it was behind the times idea, and so they're not on current market or anything like that. So that's more of the issue with
I'm
that.
wondering if with the TV show. if
Yeah,
there'll be a
exactly.
version.
So is it going to
Hawaiian
be
shirt
something?
Loki or something.
Oh, that would be funny. But yeah, so I always loved, I like the MCU Loki, so that would be really fun. And for me, the 112 Wonder Woman, which I know is coming out.
Hey, you know what? I
At
don't
some
want to
point?
burst your bubble there, but like I haven't seen anything about that armored one. They released the classic like sensational style one, like the old like 70s look, but I haven't heard too much about the. I'm not trying to, but this is the want list, right? So like.
I
You know,
wanted
Mezco, make sure
to get
that
back
that-
on track
that
so that I
armored
can get
comic
that armored Wonder Woman that I really, really, really want. Because again, a Wonder Woman is a difficult thing. I have a few action figures that they're action figures, but they don't move that much, let's be honest. But I really would love to have a really nice one. And I like the 112 that we have of Batman and Catwoman and everything like that. And I like the style they seem to be doing. And that one would be really cool. And speaking of 112, to go with my Catwoman
And the Harley.
and the
that's on
Harley
order.
that is on order is I would love a Poison Ivy because I want the Gotham City Sirens together. But they'll bring out Harley and they'll bring out Catwoman, but will they bring out Ivy? No.
Well, they've also a lot of series they'll bring out
Or she'll
Ivy
be a
and Harley, but they won't bring out Catwoman.
Catwoman, right? So it's like, why is this so hard to get the three of them together? I don't understand this.
Right?
And it's killing me. So I want an Ivy. And the last one is a Hot Toyota.
Is that Hot Toy Yoda or is that a Hot Toy the Child?
No, I want a Yoda.
Oh, okay.
Because the child right now would be pretty boring as a hot toy.
It'd be like the life-size Groot, Baby Groot.
Yeah, a Funko of it, yeah, would be awesome.
No, but they had the Hot Toy version of Baby Groot.
True, okay. Well, yeah, the child is adorable. We'll call it the child, not Baby Yoda.
So here's our 2-second view of the Mandalorian from last week. Get it?
The child is so cute.
Right?
Yeah.
Especially when he thought he
then-
blasted that guy with his hand.
Yeah, and then I love how fast he moves when he wants to. He just up and disappears. Like he's looking at you and then he's gone.
Yeah, it's like a stealthy ninja.
Yeah, it's freaking
It's
terrifying.
like a cat.
Yeah,
Can move
he's like
really
a cat.
fast when he wants to, but when it doesn't want to, then he just is in the way.
Oh my gosh, you're right. The child is a cat. Yes. So yeah, that's
Okay.
what I would like.
What is the favorite figure that you own? I'm refusing to answer this. No comment.
Yeah, I asked her. I was like, "So Mike, so what's this?" That is an impossible question, and I refuse to answer it.
Yep. That's like saying to choose my favorite child.
Okay, so I try. I bet you can answer that better than if you.
I've only got one.
Yeah, exactly, and you still. So I tried to answer it,
Fine.
and then I realized I couldn't actually decide. I'm like, but then there's this one, and then
You
there's
just
this
started
one,
listing them.
and then there's this one.
Just like,
So I apparently listed 3 before I realized I actually couldn't answer it. So the 3 that I listed was my Thor or Doc Strange Hot Toys, and then my 112 Catwoman. And then when I sit down here, and then I'm like, but I love that one. Like I love even just my Huntress action figure. I love because I like the costume that she's actually wearing.
yeah, that was from
That's-
Ned Bean's run.
Yes, like so I fall into that. But then one thing I wanted to bring up here that one of the figures that I have that doesn't get a lot of love because it's kind of tucked away and I don't really normally talk about this is I have a Pinkie Pie action figure, My Little Pony, and she comes with a chicken cannon and like a rubber chicken cannon. And she is a fully articulated pony, and it is amazing, actually,
Yeah.
how well articulated
They
she is.
started that series just before the movie came out.
Yeah.
And then they made figures based on the movie. But they never like did a complete series of them.
Yeah.
And we only found them at like Walmart.
Yeah, they were really hard to find, and then because we bought them when we could find them.
Yeah.
And but this one, it's just
And there was a couple that were weird characters. They weren't part of the main 5 as well.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So then you were like,
yeah.
Yeah.
So I have these little figures, and they're really awesome because they look like the show, because then they would kind of bring out ones that weren't really like the show.
Yeah.
And these ones they're really funny and really
if they had brought those ones, you probably would have had the whole set.
Oh, totally.
Because they look just like it.
Yeah.
Right? And you did get Daring Do.
Yes, and so that one's really fun.
And you have a Pinkie Pie as a pirate.
Yes, I do, and it is fantastic. So those are some figures that I kind of forget about that I don't. They're just, I really love them. So
yeah. Talking about like ones that maybe don't get enough love, I think the Loyal Subjects do a great job.
Mm-hmm. Did a great job.
I'm not a big fan of their art style now.
Yeah.
They're too elongated now. I like them when they first started, when they were a bit more chubby, right? A little more squatty. So like the Power Rangers and the Ninja Turtles that they made, freaking amazing. And we do have
those Power Rangers are amazing.
The helmet comes off so you can see the head underneath.
Mm-hmm.
But then also like the Dragon Ball ones, which I found out that they had, which I would love to get some of those.
Mm-hmm.
But Kiddo has the Piccolo because we found that at Toy Traders.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the same styling, right?
Yeah.
That's more squattier, chubbier looking of them ones.
Yeah.
And it's so good. And I keep looking at the My Hero Academia ones because I like to get more My Hero stuff. But I don't like the really skinny, elongated that they've created for their new line, right? And it's not as fun looking. But the Loyal Subjects, the older ones, like the He-Man ones and the Thundercat ones, those are really cool looking.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, they used to use an artist, Joe Allard, and once he left, then it kind of was. They went to that elongated when they went to made the horror figures and then the Predators and the aliens and all that, and they kept with this elongated one. So not a big fan of those, but the older stuff, really dig those.
Yeah, well, you have a whole shelf of just Loyal Subjects. So.
Yeah, my Power Rangers
of it. So
and then because I was able to get the Leatherhead, Rocksteady, and Bebop, and Slash and Shredder and Splinter and Casey and all of those.
So Mike, what is a place you would love to travel to?
I would really love to be able to go to Japan. I think that'd be really fun because we have quite a few fandoms that are over there, and there's all the like museums and theme parks, and Disney has some great theme parks over in Japan as well. And I think it would be amazing to go to toy stores over there and try to like get some really cool like Dragon Ball or My Hero or Sailor Moon.
I want to go to the Sailor Moon like lounge they have. Oh, like live action Sailor Moon show on stage. It's amazing,
right? And then like Power Rangers, the Toyo Museum and all that, right? Like I think it was
Pokemon stuff.
Yeah. Because Kiddo just wants to go to the Pokemon, one of the mega centers down there, right?
Yeah.
I was like, but then I kind of want to go because I want a Chespin.
Yes, you do.
Because that thing is adorable and I love it and I want to squish it. so Japan, just the architecture and all those kind of things, I think it'd be really cool to see and like those big lighted cities and all that. Like, I think that would be really fun to go do. But that would be one place I want to go. I would love to be able to see all the Disney theme parks. So that's going to China and then also France and all that as well.
Mm-hmm.
So there's lots of places I would love to go. Hey, I wouldn't mind going down under too because it'd be kind of fun to say. So, anyone's got couches to surf on, let us know. We'll come visit you. We'll bring the podcast equipment.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. We can Cup of Rad travels.
Yeah, there we go. So we'll just hit all these places. Who's got a sofa? We'll just go there. Let's take a year off and travel the world. If you got a sofa,
says everyone ever, they would love to do that.
We'll just randomly stay with people.
Yeah.
Send us where you at. We'll show up and we'll just we'll crack a cup of rad and
that would be nice. Yeah.
We'll become nomads.
Oh goodness. Okay. So for me, one place I would like to go, I'm sure we've talked about this before already, but I would like to go to Greece. Only because of ancient Greece.
If we got any Greek listeners, you got a sofa. Let us know.
Let us know. But I would love to see all of the old architecture and everything in Greece. some of the stuff in Italy would be great. I would love to see some of the Rome stuff, but I don't have as much of a connection with that. Like if I'm just going to pick one, that is always a place I would have loved to go.
Let's just sell everything and just travel. And who cares about school? Who cares about anything? We'll podcast from the road. Across the world.
So Mike, who's your favorite Disney princess?
I won't dignify that with an answer. Disney princess, the only one that I really grew up with, the one I remember ever going first to the theater to see would have been Ariel. You know? And so Little Mermaid. That's.
I guess it would make sense time wise, like too as well. So
yeah,
and no surprise there. Ariel's my favorite.
So
Ariel's my spirit mermaid. Opposed to other
spirit mermaids. Okay. Favorite Disney animated?
For me, top of my head, Little Mermaid. Tangled is one of the newer ones that I love. I just love the humor in Rapunzel. And Fantasia is something that I have always loved watching. I could watch it time and time again because I love the concept of music and the stories being melded into one. And it just fills my heart with joy.
Nice.
So,
Sleeping Beauty, I think the styling in that is just amazing because it veered away from anything Disney had done prior, more angular, right? And it used different planing cameras and all that. So it was just a different look to Disney animation. It was actually the one that almost bankrupted the company because they were doing so many different things.
Well, I love that Prince Philip had a personality.
And there's that too, right? It wasn't just from that then, I just really like Jungle Book. I like the music in it, that jazzy, like, bam, 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 bam. And then Lion King and Aladdin, when I was growing up, right? Those were right in the early 90s there.
Yeah.
Right? And being that a lot of Disney movies were based more on girls, it was kind of like, I enjoy them. I like them. It was fun. But then
these ones were more, anyone could really.
Right. And I was just, hitting that age group too. So
Lion King, I was in fourth grade and Lion King was like what we lived and breathed. Every day after school, we would color Lion King coloring books or we would play Jungle Cats. And like, that was our life, was Lion King.
Nice.
I specifically remember that.
So, and then there's one that we both share.
Yes.
The Nightmare Before Christmas. And then realization that it is actually a Touchstone film, but it was originally supposed to be a Disney film. But then they were like, oh no, it's too scary. So let's make it a Touchstone film.
It's
and then
under
people
Disney
then
now.
were like, oh, this is amazing. It's a Disney film. No one always thinks it's a Disney film. So then they just put it back under the Disney banner and then no one knew the difference. I was like, oh, it's just a Disney film.
I always grew up with it being Touchstone. And then it was just like, and then when I started being like melded in with like Disneyland, I'm like, what are you talking about? Why is this related to Disney?
Yeah.
So weird. But
favorite comedies.
Oh, favorite comedies.
That's a hard one.
It's super hard.
Because like it depends on my mood.
Because I love, classic comedies that you would think of more from like 70s to 80s type thing. And then sometimes you just need some more like crude comedy or R-rated comedy, and all over the place. So what are some of your favorites then? Well,
one that I grew up with that I would just laugh at and I still laugh at is, of course, like a lot of the Jim Carrey stuff. Ace Ventura, The Mask, those Dumb and Dumber.
I love Liar Liar.
Yeah,
that's
one
of my
really
favorite
good.
Ones.
Three Amigos, more that classic-y kind of thing. I like that era.
Mm-hmm.
Ghostbusters and like there's so many. I love Kevin Smith movies.
Yeah.
Because that's when I get in my crude humor, especially like Clerks 2.
Yeah.
Or more modern. Well, it's actually pretty old now, but one that I know a lot of people don't like, but I just laugh my butt off at is Your Highness. Right? With Danny McBride and the Minotaur penis. Like,
oh, the Minotaur penis.
Right. So, I love Mel Brooks movies too.
Yeah, well, that's for me, Spaceballs, Young Frankenstein, two of my absolute favorites for sure. Also Three Amigos, and then Wayne's World.
We're men. Manly men. We're men in tights.
Yeah, I mean,
roaming the world.
Mel Brooks is just
classic. History of the World.
Yeah.
Part 1.
Yeah.
I wonder if we're ever going to see part 2. We're Jews in space, right? Like, There's just so many, and like Neighbors.
I was just gonna say Neighbors. I actually really like both of them too,
Right?
which is a rare thing.
Yeah.
But to have actually liked both, and that one was really good for sure.
And there's just so many comedies that we're missing
Well,
so
like
many.
Caddyshack too is stuff like that is just hilarious, and
Animal House,
yeah.
So it's just a plethora. So maybe we need
Or National Lampoons too, right? The actual
maybe we need to actually do like a oldie comedy, like maybe a few decades of comedies.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Pick some of our from different eras and do episodes on that. Maybe
there you go.
That would be good. Like a 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s.
That would be fun. There you go. I haven't seen Men in Tights for so long. Now I just want to watch that.
Right?
Like, that is such a good movie.
It's interesting, too, because we did watch The Mask not that long ago, too, and just seeing how humor's changed.
Yes.
Compared to how it is now.
Yeah, so be curious to watch some of those ones with some... We need to do a Red Asia. Comedies.
It's
good stuff.
Favorite action films?
Favorite action films?
Another hard one.
It is. So for me... I love the Mission Impossible series.
Yeah, you do.
Like,
I really like them.
I really could care less about it when I was younger. Like my dad used to really liked it originally, and I'm like, whatever. And then like for some reason something clicked, and I'm like, yes, this is the greatest thing ever.
Well, number 3 came out.
Yes. But I really got hooked on them.
Yeah.
So that's my big thing. And then I also really like Fast 5.
You like all the Fast and Furious,
I love Fast and Furious franchise in general. Like that was a perfect time for where I was in my life. It was speaking to me, and I grew up with Fast and Furious, and I can laugh
back when it was just about boosting VCRs and racing on the streets.
And I know
die, baby.
I know I have spoken about this on this podcast before, but. It was perfect time when I actually got my license.
Yeah. And
I have the weirdest memory. I did this a few times, but I had the sudden Jonesing that I needed to watch Fast and Furious.
I have a need for speed.
And I would take off and I would like maybe 5-minute ride to the video rental store, and I would be stupid, idiotic teenage driver and like speed through the neighborhood streets, back areas there, and go and get my Fast and Furious tape. And oh wow, just like stupid teenage stuff right there. Because I of course had a crush on Paul Walker, right? Of course, and. But Fast 5 was one of my favorite ones because that was when I fell in love with The Rock.
Yeah.
Was from that. It was like this perfect mix of humor. It had like different level, and then it got ridiculous. It's just gotten insane from then. So now I just laugh at it, right? But yeah, that was like a turning point right there for it, where I wasn't such a stupid teenager anymore either then. So but what about you? I know you have a plethora of action movies.
Action movies are hard because there's just so many of them. Action movies are getting hard because there's not as many good ones, I think, anymore. There's movies that have action, right? I love the Bond movies. I always have, all the way from Connery up. Like, each actor had his Bond moment that has played him, right? I like the Mission Impossible movies and all that. But one that is probably one of my biggest ones is gotta be T2.
Makes sense.
I love Schwarzenegger movies. I have quite a few Schwarzenegger movies, but T2 is probably my favorite from him. Just because it's just amazing, and the music and just it's fantastic.
Well, I remember the other day we were playing Super Fight, and you won many rounds because you had the Terminator.
I didn't have to say much. I'd be like, I got the Terminator, guys.
Like, it doesn't even matter what's going on with him. He's the Terminator.
I'm the Terminator. I can take all of you out. I don't care what you have. I am the Terminator.
Well, so then I told him, I was like, well, I only really remember Terminator 2.
See?
So I only ever really remember watching The Melting Man and everything like that, because that was what I ever remember in my house. And he, blank face, turns to me, he's like, because T2 is the best. And then just kept back playing with what I was doing. I'm like, okay, enough said. Like, I have spoken.
So okay, let's go. Terminator 2. You know how I got in watching that show was it was already on like TV, like HBO was playing, and one of the friends I had, they had HBO, like, right, and I was sleeping over and everyone passed out, and I'd never slept at sleepovers because I got freaked out by noises, right? And because I was always so alert, right? I was like, "What's that noise?" Right?
So kiddo, exactly like he is.
Not at all.
Sure.
Yeah, but see, I'm quiet. He just keeps everyone up. I'm like, no, you go to sleep. Yeah, I'm
take
good.
care of myself.
Turn on that TV, and so I was like, "What is this?" I started watching Terminator, and I remember I was just like, "What is this?" I'm like, "It's something I shouldn't be watching," right? And like I remember when I got to that part where he like rips the skin off his arm, I'm like, "Oh damn!" And then it was like, go back home. I'm like, so I watched this movie. Arnold Schwarzenegger, right? And then then I was like, go to the video store and be like, hey, it's that Schwarzenegger guy, right? So when can I watch that? No, you can't. It's rated R. I was like, ah. And then I remember watching like being like wore my parent down, and
Nice.
start watching all these Schwarzenegger movies, so like Commando and Total Recall. All these things, and then when I got to his comedies, I was just like, "What is this?
Where did the actor go?
Where's the explosion? There's no explosions in Twins."
There should be. He should remake his comedies into action movies.
But then Die Hard. Then I got into Die Hard.
Oh yes,
and Die Hard's amazing, right? But I actually saw Die Hard with a Vengeance first.
Oh okay.
And so then that's where my love of like Samuel Jackson got, right?
That makes sense then, yeah.
Because it was just like, this is amazing. And I was like, there's more of these? What? Like, so you go back and you rent all those. And then, so I had that nice like bedrock. And then like we started watching Rambo and, all like horror movies too that would come out, the action-y horror and comedies and all that. And so then that really paved the way for when Matrix came out and getting to see, dating myself there with the idea that watching Matrix in the theaters, right? And just like, woo, right? That was a big deal, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of action movies in my stable.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. So we're gonna have to cap it. This is gonna be like part 1 of the questions. We'll have to you're gonna have to wait till January and come back and listen to part 2.
Apparently.
There is a ton more. I think we only did like a quarter of the questions that we got.
Right.
But like that's what's kind of cool, right?
Definitely.
We have all these fun things we can talk about and all those kind of things. So thank you all for listening. Hopefully you enjoyed some of our answers. Hopefully answered some of the questions that you asked.
Yeah.
Definitely. If
and stay tuned for more. We have a whole list here.
Yeah. And if you want to answer the questions, throw it in our comments. What some of your things that we talked about on today's episode, because love to hear what some of your guys' faves are. So
definitely.
So yeah, give us a list. Blah blah dooby dooby dooby. And check it out. Stay rad, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks for joining us, and have a wonderful day.
Told you we're over-caffeinated.
Thank you for listening. Want more rad content? Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And don't forget to subscribe, rate us, and leave us a review.
And remember, be excellent to each other, and party on, dudes!